Supercharged.
Hey guys, and welcome to Performance Cars. So today I have a very luxurious 2005 Jaguar XJR. This is also known as the X350. Many previous Prime Ministers have used this, as well as quite a few current MPs. So I'm excited to find out why they have chosen this vehicle. So let's go take a look around. So the classic quad headlight is also found on this model. The outer ones are slightly larger than the inner ones, which differs from the previous generation. We also have the R badge and what looks to be a metal style finish on the grille. The Jaguar cat there. Chrome trim on the bumpers, front fog lights, parking sensors. And if we move on to the bonnet, we also have these grooves and bulges, which definitely looks distinctive on this car. If we move down to the side, you can see how long this car is. I actually have to step back quite far. If I was to park in the bay, I think the rear would definitely overhang. But moving on to the wheels, these also stand out. 5 spokes. These are Pirelli tyres running 255/40/19s with the Jaguar 4-pot calipers. And the chrome also continues on the door handles. Just shows how long this car is. Moving on to the rear, chrome trim also on the surround of the rear lights, XJR badge, and twin exhaust. So moving on to the door card, we have a lovely wood effect finish, very glossy. Tweeter is hidden behind the handle. Have your usual mirror and window switches. It's all finished in leather. Alpine speaker system all round, with the Jaguar side seal there. All Jaguar XJ models are automatic, so just 2 pedals, accelerator and brake. And look at the size of the brake pedal. You definitely won't be missing that. Leather continues on the driver and rear seats. The drivers, we have the R badge there, and these are adjustable, also heated, and they have a memory function as well. Wood trim continues on the steering wheel, around the clock display, and along to the passenger airbag. So the dials are fairly small and simple. You see supercharged along the tachometer and next to the fuel and radiator temperature. But this is subtle. Down to the center we have a lovely timepiece. That's pretty nice compared to the normal digital ones that we see. So we have the 6-speed automatic gearbox. You can go into manual mode and use gears 2 to 5. And you also have a sport button here and a traction control button. Down to the armrest, it's fairly big. You can take this out, which you get to the Jaguar phone. So you can make calls while you're driving, not that I suggest it nowadays. So moving to the rear, the door card is very similar to the driver's one. You have this ashtray which pops up nicely. Plenty of legroom for the rear passengers. And the seats are just as comfy. Center armrest just behind here, with lots of space. Cup holders. Just store that away. And this is a nice touch. If the third person is not using this, you can just hide it there, so it's not flapping about. We also have the choice of rear heated seats here. A cigarette lighter, which is shiny all the way through, as well as a 12-volt socket. So this has a 4.2 litre V8 supercharged engine. It pushes out about 390 brake horsepower and 400 foot-pounds of torque. See the supercharged wording there. And it's all hidden under plastic covers. The oil filler cap is fairly low, so you will have to use a funnel for that. But the whole chassis is made out of aluminium with some steel used, but about 3,000 of these self-piercing rivets, which you can see along the suspension tower. This definitely saves a lot of weight compared to the older model, which was made out of steel. And I never expected this car to have so much power. So let's go for a test drive. We're inside the Jag, as most people call them. And my first impressions are this is very comfortable, it's quiet, there's loads of space in here. I feel tiny. I mean, I have to stretch my elbows just to reach the armrest. But yeah, this has some serious power. 390 brake horsepower, V8 supercharged, 400 foot-pounds of torque. I mean, we're just cruising along the motorway at the moment, about 60 miles per hour, 2,000 RPM. And if I just put my foot down, it takes a bit of time to get into gear, but my God, it pulls like a train. And you can hear the supercharger whine as well, which is quite nice, especially for a car like this anyways. So this has sport mode, and you also get the choice to switch off the dynamic stability control. If you're not in sport mode, when you set off from a traffic light, I've been told that you set off from second gear rather than first gear, so this makes it more comfortable and less vibrations, I suppose. And turning off the dynamic stability control, well, I don't think you really need to in this car. I mean, I don't think this is designed to corner quite hard, but we'll give that a try in a second. You also have the computer controlled air suspension, so we can't manually override it or change its settings, and that's to do with the rear. It can raise itself or lower itself depending on what it senses. So I can see why the Prime Minister or many MPs have chosen this car. It's very comfortable, it's quiet on the motorway, and you just have loads of space in here. Heated front and rear seats, loads of space for your luggage or storage, you know, your USB connections and all that. And it's very British. The dash itself is quite high up. I don't feel like I'm sitting really low down or anything like that. So we have a couple of corners coming up, and let's just try the steering. Whoa! It feels like a boat. We are in sport mode at the moment. Pick up a bit of speed, hard on the brakes. Yep, it can feel a bit sluggish. Back on the power. You can feel the body moving about a bit. All the way to 6,000 RPM. And oh my God, we are going really quickly. Slow it down. We do have those 4 parts front and rear, and it definitely needs them. It can do with a bit better stopping power as well, but this car weighs quite a bit. I think almost 1,600 kilos. But this is lighter than the previous version, so it's definitely an upgrade compared to that. The dials themselves, yes, they are fairly small, and I could do with the speedometer being slightly larger, because you do go over certain speeds quite quickly, especially when your foot is down. The suspension itself in sport mode, yeah, when I was doing those corners, it did have a lot of body roll. And yeah, it's definitely not designed to do a lot of cornering in this car. The tires were good though. So the car that they have modified for the Prime Minister, it is based on the X350, which is this one, but they obviously have added many features like bulletproof windows, you have blast proof chassis, and that adds a lot of weight. Almost brings it over 2 tons, I believe, and 0 to 60 in that it's about 10 seconds. And they've also upped the power, so that goes up to 500 brake horsepower. But yeah, pulling all that weight around definitely makes a difference on the speed. Sitting in the car as a driver, I already feel quite important on the road. But if you're a passenger and you're sitting at the back, I definitely feel like a VIP. You also have a lot of nice, neat touches in this car. For example, the steering column, they're electronically adjustable. as well as the pedals as well. You can bring them closer to you rather than bringing the seat forwards. So that's really cool. You of course have those heated seats, and when you stick the gears into reverse, the passenger mirrors dips down so you can see the curves, not to scratch your alloys. At first when I saw this car, I didn't think much of it. I thought it's just a normal Jaguar. It's big, it's heavy, it most probably be slow, most probably a V6 with about 210 brake horsepower. But don't be fooled, this car will most probably slay my DC2 on a straight line. I mean, doing about 60 miles per hour, put my foot down, it changes gears, you can hear the supercharger whine, next thing you know, it's gone. This car is quiet, it's composed, it's well refined, and you can definitely tell it's well built. So this Jaguar XJR weighs in at 1,580 kilograms. So I want to say a big thank you to Chappie for letting me drive this really luxurious XJR today. It really is. I mean, I just didn't expect this car to be this quick and so luxurious at the same time. But I've really enjoyed it. My first British car, I suppose. So don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. Stay safe, drive safely, and I'll see you guys soon. Hey guys, and welcome to Performance Cars. So today I have a Civic EK4 VTI, but this is nowhere near standard.